Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be taking a sneak peek at some of the new rules for the Hunters of Huanchi for Warcry. And recently we've had a couple of articles on the Warhammer community site for Warcry, so great to see they're keeping up on this now, and we're going to get the release of the new set very soon, so that's pretty exciting. So I thought it'd be fun to have a look at the new rules, because I think these look like they're going to be pretty fun to play. They got some interesting abilities, the reaction's pretty good as well, so let's dive in and we'll check out exactly what we can do with these little guys. So the Hunters of Huanchi are the new warband, or one of the new warbands in Sundered Fate, and these are going to be the Chameleon Skinks, the cold-blooded guardians that watch over the Eye of Kotek. There's some really nice models in this warband. You're going to get 13 altogether, which is really cool. 10 of them are going to be the Chameleon Skinks, and then you're going to get 3 other little creatures too. So they're really cool. I'm looking forward to finding out more about those. But this video is really going to focus on the Chameleon Skinks and the rules that have been released for those so far. You've got some different ones. There's like dart guns, like blowpipes there. You've got spears, shields. Looks like a bolas in there. There's a horn. All sorts going on. It's been a really great update for these models. And then there's these, the Terror Wings. Now these are distant relatives of Pterodons. Very reminiscent of the chaotic beasts that came in the first box set for Warcry, and you can buy them separately. They're going to be available again soon as well. So this is a really nice touch, and I'm glad they've kind of gone back to this vibe. I think it really fits in well with Warcry, and these are going to be interacting with the Chameleon Skinks, much like you've seen with the different beasts in some of the other warbands, like the Untamed Beast, for example, with the Rocktusk Prowler. Let's have a look at the fighter card then. So this is the one they've given us for one of the skinks here, and you can see that altogether the points are going to be pretty low for this character, as we'd expect, 70 points. And then we've got the faction rune mark there, and we've got a second rune mark. This is going to be the agile rune mark. This is going to give access to specific abilities. Then there's a movement of 6. They're going to get around the board pretty fast. They've got a toughness of 2, so very low, but you know, that's to be expected from these. And then they're going to be able to take 8 wounds. We've got a ranged weapon with that dart, and the ranged weapon is going to be shooting 6 inches. You can make 2 attacks. You're going to be strength 1, so that's not good at all. And then the damage is going to be either 1 on a normal hit and 2 on the critical hit. Even for a low 70 points, this isn't looking great, with a toughness 2, a strength 1, only 2 attacks with minimal damage being dealt. Not ideal, but that range attack is handy and the movement is good too, so you really want to be using these to get those objectives, harass the enemy a little bit along the way, and just, yeah, try and maybe hold the enemy up, prevent them to get into certain objectives. And so these are going to be key, I think, in movement more than attacking. Now, because this guy has got the Agile rune mark, he's got access to this reaction. So this is the reaction called Slippery, and a fighter can make this reaction after they have been allocated damage points by a melee attack action. This fighter makes a disengage action. This certainly sounds like it's going to play into the narrative really well. You know, if you get caught up and the enemy attacks you and they tie you up, and you know that if they go first in the next turn, it's probably history for this guy because he's not got many wounds. At least you know you could use this reaction, disengage, potentially even in between attacks. If the enemy want to make 2 attacks during their activation, you could take the damage the first time and then disengage, preventing them from attacking you again. So that's pretty handy. I think that's going to be quite annoying for the enemy. So yeah, you could really do some interesting things with these guys. So although it's not very impressive from their fighter card, I think combining the reaction with it, they could be quite useful. Right, we've also got some abilities to look at for some of the other fighters. So this is going to be for one of them with the Icon Bearer rune mark. This is a triple called Bellow of the Carnosaur. And here you can pick an enemy fighter within 6 inches of this fighter. Until the end of the battle round, subtract 1 from the move characteristic of that fighter to a minimum of 1. And subtract 1 from the damage points allocated by each hit and each critical hit from attack actions made by that fighter. It looks like this ability may only be available to one of the fighters because it's granted to those who wear the magical Zotlar helm. And it tells us in the article that those who wear that helm can mimic an ear-splitting bellow of the Carnosaur. And this is a terrifying roar that reduces the bravest opponent's legs to jelly. So I think for a triple, this could be quite expensive. I think it's handy to have that reduction in move characteristic, because in these smaller games, every inch certainly counts. And if you're trying to prevent an opponent maybe getting to attack one of your friendly fighters, or trying to stop them getting to an objective, that inch could make the difference. That could actually save you the game in some cases. But for a triple, it does seem a lot, doesn't it? Quite high. And you know, you're not able to do any damage. It really is about preventing that enemy, making them think twice about stepping forward, either making an attack or coming towards you even. This could be something to preserve this particular fighter. But also, I like the idea that they can kind of help their friendly fighters around them too. I think that's pretty cool. Working together as like a hunting pack fits in with the narrative for sure. Here's another ability, and this is going to tie in with the Terror Wings now, so this is pretty cool. So this is another triple called Call of the Hunt, and we can pick a friendly fighter with the Hunters of Huanchi rune mark and the Beast rune mark, and then as long as they're within 9 inches of this fighter. That fighter can make a bonus move action. Then you can pick a visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of the fighter that made the bonus move action, and then allocate a number of damage points to that fighter equal to the value of this ability. This ability I really like. I can imagine using this a lot, and this would be maybe one of my main tactics based on what we've seen so far. I think you're going to have these Terror Wings potentially with an 8 or 9 movement. They're going to fly as well. So if any enemy fighters are trying to creep up or they're hiding behind terrain, you can instruct one of your Terror Wings to make another movement, get right on top of them, get within 1 inch, and then deal the damage equal to the value of the ability. Now on a triple, there's a great chance you're going to get 5s or 6s here, because you could use your wild dice to make a double into a triple. So this is going to get a lot of action during the game, and potential to deal some serious damage. I mean, if you're moving and then you can use this ability early on, then, you know, before the beast actually activates as well, you can do that bonus move action and potentially have a chance to do 2 attack actions when they are activated. So that's really great. I really like this one. I think they're going to do some proper damage on 5s and 6s there, especially if they're attacking twice as well. You're immediately going to do damage with the ability, then attacks on top of that. I think these Terror Wings are going to be pretty ferocious, so looking forward to seeing just how much damage those beaks and claws can actually do. I'm pretty excited about these Hunters of Huanchi. I think they're a definite improvement on the Warbands that were included in the first box set of this new season. So I'm really excited about these. I think they're going to be great fun to play. I like playing these sneaky Warbands that like move around the battlefield, trying to evade the enemy rather than just going in and packing a punch. So I think these are going to be interesting to play. But those Terror Wings, I think they're going to be the ones that are going to be used the most if I get this Warband. And I'm probably not going to get this box set this time, but I would be interested in picking up this Warband when it's available later on, because I think they've got a lot of character, and yeah, I really like the sound of their gameplay. I think that'll fit in really nicely with the way I like to play the game. It's an interesting mix-up in this new box set with the other Warband as well. I think they look really good too. I mean, there's 2 really good Warbands here. Just feel a little bit let down with the terrain a bit, and it's very much the same as the first one. So for me, I'm not excited about that. But I do like the look of these 2, and hopefully we'll get another article this week where we can find out a bit more about the Jade Obelisk and see what they can do and how they'll play on the battlefield, because they might have some interesting tactics to learn about too. I'm really keen to see what the next box set will bring. I know I'm jumping ahead, we haven't even got this one yet, but I think the terrain has got potential to be really interesting here. And reading in one of the other articles this week for Warcry, it describes it as fragments of the void ship litter the Narwood, each a cache of wondrous treasure. And these lesser ruins form a tangled maze known to the Seraphim as the Sundered Scales. So that sounds awesome. It's an overgrown labyrinth, so I really love this idea. And it's almost a bit like, I could see it being like a maze of terrain, a bit like Space Hulk. Maybe we're mimicking what we've seen in Kill Team perhaps, so that could be really fun. I think that this has got a lot of potential, and I really hope that they do give us something that's got a maze-like labyrinthic feel. I think that would be epic. If you're interested in picking up this new Warcry box set, then when it's available to pre-order, please check out Firestorm Games. I'll put a link in the description down below, and if you use this code, WeekendWarrior5, put that in at checkout, you'll save an additional 5% on top of the already great savings. And this box set has been confirmed now at £110, so with potential of up to 20% off now. Certainly when you use this extra 5% code, I think it could be a pretty decent price for what's included, especially if you didn't get that first box set already. I'd love to know what you think about what we've seen for the Chameleon Skinks, the Hunters of Huanchi so far. Do you think they'll be fun to play, and can you imagine adding these to your collection? Let me know in the comments section down below. It'd be great to hear what you think. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please hit that like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and don't forget to hit that notification bell too to join me here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'd like to say a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters who make these daily videos possible, and if you're interested in joining the community, it'd be awesome to see you there, and I'll put a link for that in the description down below.